Fire escape engineers inspector summary video. We're here in Jersey City. We have a fire escape here, one of 11. This is fire escape number 10, facing the front of the building. And the biggest issue we're going to have with this fire escape is that we're here to examine, test, or certify this fire escape. Examining it is what I'm doing right now, trying to identify any issues that would stop us from load testing this fire escape, and we have found some. Testing is the ability for us to, once the fire escape is in pristine condition and it has no rust in any of its connections, we can load test it at 100 pounds per square foot. We cannot do that now. And certification occurs when somebody has basically repaired their fire escape and changed all the fasteners, and that's called a certification instead and in lieu of a load test. So this examination that I'm doing right now, it does not pass the confidence test, so it cannot proceed to a load test. Does not pass the confidence test at this time, and it has some issues also with paint, in that the fire escape was fully painted, but all the rust was left behind on all this. There was no maintenance of any kind. It's got nothing but original hardware. So in regards to just the repairing and going to the paint, there's going to be a spot, it's going to be repairs, and then you got a spot paint to match the existing color, because the fire escape does look like it has a paint job that was here within the past 5 years. Number two, because the fire escape was older than 1979 or 78, it's presumed to have lead. So most likely there's a lead-based primer, which you can see here, and it means you can't weld on this fire escape. So no welding repairs, and whoever's going to touch this fire escape must have an EPA renovator's license. So no welding means you can't weld, weld these back in like people normally do. There's bolts to be changed, rivets to be changed. And because of the age of this fire escape, it looks like it has a combination of rivets and square heads. I estimate this fire escape to be at least 75 years old. So let's talk about some of the issues that we have on this fire escape. First of all, the construction. It's all these T-bars back into the building. I'm sorry, these C-channels back into the building. They're usually buried 8 to 12 inches deep. Now, you have on every single one, 100% of all the fire escape C-channels going into the building are spalling, meaning their cement is not correct. It's rusting and it's spalling. So we got rust jacking, ice jacking, and cement spalling on every single one. In some cases, it's even splitting as we go up. I'm going to show you splits of your sills as the rust grows on that one. For example, it will split the sill above it, which is made of limestone. But 100% of all the treads have rust inside of them, and the repair that what they should have had before they painted, they should have repaired not only the side corrosion that's in there, as you can see there, the side corrosion. They should have removed and put in new fasteners. That was never done. So all that side corrosion needs to be removed, and there's top corrosion on all these treads also. So this is a candidate that, even though you can clean all these treads of all the top corrosion like you have here, you're gonna have to clean all this rust out, and then there's no welding putting these back. So all these rivets need to be bolted back, and 2 bolts on the side, 3/8 minimum on all this. So let's platforms of frames. If you look all the way around this frame, this is a 2x2 frame going all the way around. Look at all that corrosion, heavy corrosion. Some of these you can't even fix anymore. You have to replace some of these angles 2x2. Look, I put my finger right through there. My whole finger goes through there. Look, my finger goes through there. Rust, huge rust. So the frame that basically picks up the flats, which is the grating, they're rusted on all sides. So a lot of this is going to repeat itself as I go up. So I'll take a little bit more detail talking over here on this platform. Look at all that rust, all the way rusted through. Okay? All the way fully packed with corrosion. Fully packed with corrosion and rusted through. So a majority of these platform frames will have to be replaced, primarily the side ones and those. A lot of these tiebacks have original hardware. That's another factor. There is 100% original hardware on this fire escape. I see no evidence of maintenance. And the cementing of the rails back into here is spalling out of the building. So that needs to be bolts changed, repacked in order to avoid a load test. So if you spot repair the fire escape and you want to proceed to a load test, you will need engineer oversight, and you will need to have this fire escape drawn showing exactly which one of these fasteners is in fair to good condition that are going to stay, and so you're going to have to detail it in a drawing, or you can use a spray can like I would have here, and you can have the engineer of oversight, whoever that may be, will come in here and basically mark this one but not that one, because he's identified that there's no corrosion on that one, but there is corrosion on this one. So that's option one. Spot repair this entire fire escape, leaving behind some of these treads, leaving behind some of these connections that are in fair to good condition, and then you proceed immediately to a load test, and that's 100 pounds per square foot. So this platform here is roughly 4 feet across. It's roughly 10 feet across this way. So you need to put about 4,000 pounds of sand, water bags on here for a period of anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Take measurements before, during, and after. And again, this is all going to be with the engineer oversight to make sure that the load test is being done correctly, and it sometimes must be witnessed by the city official if they so request it. So that's another thing. The city official may want to visually look at the load test in progress. Otherwise, if you change 100% of all these bolts, clean out all the rust, change 100% of all these connections, clean out all the rust, silicone shut everything, change everything silicone shut because it's bent, silicone shut everything, there is no load test. So replace steel that needs to be replaced, no load test. Replace all the fasteners that are major structural, no load test. Minor structural, these are called minor structural. This rivet here and that rivet there is a minor structure. You don't have to change every one of these, but you do have to change the major structural on the fire escape, on the staircase, on the platform, even the connections on the corners that tie in the front flat. Everything. All right, let's go over here and talk about this ladder. I tried to push down this ladder. I try to put down this ladder and she won't go down very easily. So as I push it down, I'm pushing it down right now. Okay. She's frozen. So the reason why they freeze is because by the time you paint this thing, several coats of paint here, she won't ride smoothly up and down, and this grasp on the back won't. Look at all the paint and all the dripping that's happening over the years. So this is again a problem, because should this let go, this ladder's got a guillotine down, and should anybody be passing, it'll guillotine down, and if anybody's down below. Now if this goes guillotine down, they have to move that vase. That vase is in the wrong location if it was to be going down, but it won't go down right now because I'm trying. I'll put my, there you go. So it's got to be single action, requiring no special knowledge, and then she's got to be able to go back up to reset. So she has a problem there. Let me look inside of it, and as you can see that rod? That rod is rotted all the way through. It's a 5/8 rod, and she's down to less than a 1/4 inch. So she's rotted out, as you can see, both sides. But the reason why she's rotting out, because she's filled with dirt. And that dirt and rust and iron pieces have turned into rust, and it's usually heavier. So this would be a life safety issue, in that should that let go, the ladder is going to guillotine down and crash or hit somebody down below if they're having a smoke down below, and this piece of weight will actually pop off once it hits the bottom. They'll pop off, and if anybody's walking across the front here, they may be hit in the head. So I'm going to mark that as a safety violation. That's a life safety concern. They should get that secured immediately to avoid such a thing as an accident occurring. Either to let go by itself because it's rotted. So I'm just going to mark it, and she's stuck on the back, as you can see. So, and she's splitting. See the split? Because rust will grow to 5 times its size and 5 times its weight over time. So a 1/4 inch of rust will make 1 inch. 1/4 inch of steel will make 1 inch of rust. All right, so that's the ladder system. She has a chain. We have to replace that chain, and we have to replace the pulleys up there, simply because you either have to load test the chain, or just replacing it is actually cheaper sometimes. Including the pulleys. So again, all your treads have nothing but corrosion that was never removed, and rust on top as well as on the side. So somebody who did this paint job just painted over everything. They didn't scrape it down, they just painted over everything. And as you can see all the rust basically eating the channel front and eating a channel bottom. This is all your cement, and this cement is actually creating major structural cracks here that now have to be dealt with the mason. So those cracks are going to spall that wall away, and it's already spalling over here, and creating, look, see, that's all opening. So the fire escape feeding water back in is going to create a facade work of hundreds of thousands of dollars here. So in combination of what we're going to be doing, in overseeing the vendor's going to get all this work done and secured, and the vendor's going to temporarily seal this. But again, that is not a permanent repair. That is just sealing it so that the facade, the masonry contractor is going to come in and basically deal with the facade. But these, within 4 to 8 inches square of the steel piece, that is within the ironworker's capability to repack that back in. Okay, so but look at all the major rust on the clips, the C-channel, and there's a clip on the other side that looks like that clip right there is rotted. See, all original hardware. Look at all that rust in there. And rust jacking is just that. See how it's, as it grows and rusts, it basically creates a rust jacking that opens up and pops these bolts. So you have these bolts here that are being popped as the thing keeps growing. There used to be a bolt over here. It's gone. All right, the angles at the very top coming down, tie back in here. And as you can see here, this stringer is missing its J-clip. That J-clip is all gone. It's already popped all its bolts. So that's about ready to pop and just drop to the ground. So cement work, tread work, and I'm going to go up one more and basically just make sure I finish up with the ladder, then I'm going to continue with the conversation. So all these flats, the major structural is from here back to there. Those got to be changed out because there's rust in them. These are minors because they have rivets. As long as those are in good order, they just stay. But they can't have any rust. Change all your J's. J-hook hangs. Look at that rotting in the back over there. Just not even attached to each other anymore. Rotting over here, ready to let go. Rotting, you can see the sun through. Cement issues against the building again. So it starts repeating itself. These AC units, you got to push them back in. They basically are an obstruction right now. So it's literally pushing them back, I'd say about 4 to 5 inches. And inside creating some sort of coverage so that it looks decent inside, but you can't block. Can't block. Okay, so the chain, got to change these bolts out. This is all original hardware. Water is getting in there. And as you can see, even some of these simple chains, you got to load test them or you got to replace them, which is a lot of times cheaper. All these treads again need to be taken out. And the last piece that I'm going to deal with, see, they got a bolt there for some reason. I don't know what that's for. But as you go along, you can start seeing all the major cement. Look at that. Now that's causing facade problems on this building. See, major blowout. That's caused from rust jacking, which is all, see that black? That's all rust, blowing away your bricks. Then you have ice jacking, which is during the winter, water gets in there and helps break the bricks apart so that the rust can grow even more. This is dipping. It's already coming down. And again, this corner, look at all that rust, look at all the facade problems. They've tried some temporary repairs, but when you lose the corner of a building, it's huge money to repair or replace the corner. Look at the J's, gone. Look at that corner, gone. Look at all the angles, gone. You can see right through it. So major rust. For somebody just to paint this without notifying the owner that they have problems here is really negligent. This piece of C-channel in here split and broke this sill. Look at that angle over there, it's raised. This is the top of the ladder. These pulleys are supposed to be greased. If they can't be refurbished, you got to put in new pulleys, new chain. Usually not chain, you go with cable covered in plastic, galvanized and covered in plastic. Cement pulling away from the building. Same problem, it repeats itself over and over again, going up. Your angles and your angles going to there, okay? Your ACs are coming out, impeding and making this a smaller gap. Needs a minimum of 24. It's not there. She's eating about she's got to come back to this line, and that is about 4 to 5 inches she's got to go in. to not impede. You can get out that window to get into the fire escape. You've got rotting pieces of steel here. This is the bracket. This is what happens as you start getting letting the rust just be there. It'll just basically eat all your connections. You rely on those connections and you'll fall and get hurt. So let me continue, because I was going to make this two-part, but it looks like, see, look at that major crack going on right there. That major crack is already splitting the wall on the corner out. There's a huge crack here now that's going to blow this corner out. That's going to involve a mason. And there's this whole part blowing this wall out and that wall that way. So look at the huge crack. So this iron, if it's not properly maintained and sealed, it'll keep splitting. So this entire place is split, and it's also cracked your sill already. All right, so this is what happens when you let rust grow. You let ice jacking get in there and do its job. Rust is growing in here. So this fire escape, to me, based on what I have here and in the examination that I performed here, is in for a full refurb to avoid the load test. By the time you identify what is still left, I have a 75% minimum, 75% failure rate on all these connections and the tiebacks into the building. To me, it's going to be a full refurb to avoid the load test. But again, the engineer oversight and further investigation will determine what is the most economic for the client. But this fire escape must be load tested every 5 years. Should you refurbish this in its entirety, the fire escape load test could be put off for the next 15 to 25 years, with still 5-year inspections of certification. That's mandatory every 5 years as per the International Fire Code for 2012. Every 5 years you must examine these. But the load testing could be put off for the next 15 to 25 if this is a full refurbishment and a certification is issued on this with other evidence of strength. The code here in New Jersey says, depending on the condition, a load test may be ordered. So by fully refurbishing this, there is no load test, because you're providing them other evidence of strength satisfying the International Building Code, the International Fire Code, and the NFPA. All three will be satisfied with a full refurbishment. Any questions? Fire escape engineers. Inspect the summary video. This is Cisco Meneses, 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333.